Hi everyone and welcome to my new video. So today I'm going to do a book haul because I have accumulated quite a few books over the last month or so, and I thought I would give you an insight into what I have bought recently. So I have 11 books here and I'm going to just briefly discuss what books I've bought and why I bought them. So the first 3 books that I'm going to discuss is books that I got for presents. So the first book is Free Food for Millionaires. I got this as a Christmas present, and the reason I wanted this book is because I read Pachinko last year. If you've seen my book review of 2020, you'll know I absolutely loved that book and I wanted to read more from this author. I think she's only got 2 books out just now, so this is the one that I'm currently reading, and I'm a good way through it and it's very, very good. This is actually going to come out on Netflix, I think, as a series, so I'm really looking forward to watch that after I finish this book. The next few books I got were for presents for my birthday, which was last month in January. So the next book is A Secret History by Donna Tartt. I think I'm like the only person that has not read this book, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. It is about a group of college students in America who go to this prestigious university, and they are part of this elite sort of class where they get taught by this one eccentric professor, and throughout the book there's sort of cult-like activities that come out. That's all I know about this book, and I know loads of people love or hate it, so I'll be interested to see if I enjoy it. The next book I got was Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I've never read any Daphne du Maurier, and I know loads of people love their work, so I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I actually watched a movie that's on Netflix, and I didn't realise it was based off a book, and I really liked the movie. I have heard that the book is pretty different from the film, so we'll see if this is good. The remainder of the books that I bought these myself, and I got them second-hand off a website called 8 Books. I really love that website just because they're all second-hand, and for me there's not really any need to buy new books, especially when these are in such good quality as they are. So starting from the top, the first book I bought is a little tiny book, and it is Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. This book just sounds intriguing and so odd. It's about a person that wakes up and finds out that they have turned into an insect, and it's basically them trying to navigate this new life as a big grotesque bug, which just sounds crazy, and I cannot wait to read this. It's a very, very short read. And in this book there's actually a few articles and critical essays about this book analysing it, which I think will also be really interesting to read after I've read the book. So the next few books are classic books that I've yet to read. To be honest, I've not read a lot of classics at all, so I definitely want to change that in 2021 and read a more variety of fiction. I tend to only read really contemporary fictions from the last maybe like 100 years, so I want to sort of delve into more old literature. So the first book that I have is Dracula. So I think everyone knows about this book, has heard of it at least. I don't actually know a lot about the storyline except from it's about a vampire that lives in Transylvania, and I'm assuming based on the cover it is a bit of a romance book. I don't know if that's true, but we shall see if I like this book. The next classic book that I bought is Frankenstein. Again, I think most people have heard about this book and probably read it as well, but I've yet to actually read this book at all. So I know it's about a medical student called Frankenstein who creates this creature. I've heard that the book sort of delves into who's the real villain of the story and whether it's the medical student or whether it's the creature. But I don't really know what happens throughout the book in terms of the storyline at all. But we shall see if this is a good read. Again, this is quite a short book, so it shouldn't take too long to delve into. So my next book is Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. The reason I want to read this book is it's been turned into a series, His Dark Materials, on BBC, and I'm really intrigued to watch this series. I thought I'd just get the first book and see if I like it before buying them all. I remember when I was younger going to the library and I did pick up, I think it was the second one, The Amber Spyglass. And the only reason I picked it up because it was big and I thought it'd be cool to read a big book, but I didn't get too far because I was very young and wasn't really that interested in the storyline at all. But I'm really looking forward to delving into this and hoping that it will be a good read. As far as I know, it's sort of fantasy book. I don't read a lot of fantasy, so it'd be interesting to see if I enjoy this book. The next books on my list are two movies that I really loved as a child. And I've never actually read the books. I didn't know one was actually a book at all. I thought it was just a movie. And when I realised it was a book, I thought it'd be good to read. So the first one is The City of Ember. So if you've seen this movie, it's got a female protagonist and they live in this world in the centre of the earth. And when they're growing up, they realise that their power shortages are getting more and more frequent and that their world is running out of power. And they go on a mission to find out how the engineers built their world and how to fix the crisis. It's a really, really good movie and I really hope this book is enjoyable. The next book that I bought is A Little Princess. I remember loving this movie so much. I just watched it all the time. I thought it was so good. It's basically about a child living in London and she goes to a boarding school. Her father dies and she can't afford to attend the school as a normal school student and a boarder, so she gets put into the attic and basically turns into a servant. And as far as I can remember from the movie, it explores a lot about her imagination and the story she creates up to get her through the hard times. I just remember loving this movie so much when I was younger, and I know loads of people really enjoy the book, so I hope I will as well. So the next book on my list that I bought is Convenience Store Woman. The reason I bought this book is I've read a few books last year that sort of delve into more Asian culture, which I really, really enjoyed. And this book is about a lady that works in a convenience store in Japan. I don't really know a lot about it, but I have seen some quite good reviews and it's a very short read as well. And the last book I have is The Real Story of Achi and Other Tales of China, the complete fiction of Lucian. So the reason I bought this book is I really love learning about China. I know some of Mandarin and I basically love to learn anything about the country. I think it's such a fascinating place. And I realised that I hadn't really read a lot of Chinese literature before. So I know this person is one of the founding figures in modern Chinese literature. And I thought it'd be a great way to start on my Chinese literature journey and see what I can learn. This is the complete works by this author, and I think a lot of the stories touch on Chinese myths and folklore. And that's all the books that I recently bought. If you're not aware, I do have a target of reading 20 books this year, so hopefully if I can manage to read a few of these, I'll be well on my way to meeting the target. The book I'm reading now is The Free Food for Millionaires, which is a really good book, but it's taken me quite a while because it's 630 something pages long, and I've got quite a few shorter ones that maybe won't take as long. So if you want to comment down below and tell me which book you think I should start reading next, that would be great. And as always, if you want to like and subscribe and hear more from me, please do. Bye!